fact, I'm sure you have noticed that some of your clients seem to spend their entire lives struggling with the same theme, not the same symptom, the same theme. One client continually struggles with safety, another struggles with boundaries, another struggles with self worth, another struggles with speaking their truth. And despite years of healing work, personal development, therapy, coaching, or spiritual practice, these same themes continue resurfacing. As practitioners, we're often taught to see these as separate issues: a relationship issue, a confidence issue, a communication issue, a grief issue. But what if they're not separate at all? What if they're expressions of a deeper organization that began developing long before the client ever entered your office? Today, I want to share a perspective that has profoundly influenced the way I understand healing. I believe the chakra system is far more than an energetic model. I believe it may be one of the most useful maps that we have for understanding human adaptation. If I haven't met you yet, my name is Tina Bridgetini, and I'd love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll get the next video. Before you dismiss this is simply another chakra discussion, stay with me, because I'm not interested in teaching colors, symbols, or spiritual concepts today. I am interested in helping practitioners understand why the same patterns continue showing up in the people that they serve. Because when we stop viewing chakras as isolated energy centers and begin viewing them as developmental adaptations, everything changes. See, for years, the healing field has had an interesting divide. On one side, we have developmental psychology, attachment theory, trauma research, nervous system science. On the other side, we have energetic systems, chakras, meridians, polarity, energy healing traditions. And most practitioners are taught these systems separately. Yet the more that I studied both, the harder it became to ignore the similarities, because both systems seem to be describing the same human experience, one through biology, the other through energy, both attempting to explain how life experiences shape who we become. So let's begin at the foundation. The root chakra is often associated with safety, survival, security, and belonging. But think about this through a developmental lens. A child enters the world completely dependent upon their environment. Their nervous system immediately begins asking, am I safe? Can I trust this environment? Will my needs be met? See, when safety is consistent, the system develops one way. When safety is inconsistent, the system develops another way. The adaptation isn't wrong, it's intelligent. The child adapts to the environment provided. Years later, that adaptation may still be operating. Not because the person is broken, because the system learned what it needed to survive. And as practitioners, we often meet clients who are still organized around uncertainty, even when their current circumstances are relatively stable. The adaptation remains long after the original environment has changed. Now let's move into the sacral chakra, also known as the second chakra. Traditionally associated with emotion, connection, creativity, relationships. Again, think developmentally. This is where attachment becomes important because it's how did the child learn to connect? How did they learn to receive affection? How did they learn to express emotion? Were emotions welcomed, ignored, criticized, punished? These experiences shape both the nervous system responses and energetic organization. Some clients become highly attuned to everyone else's emotions. Others disconnect from their own. Others struggle with intimacy despite desperately wanting connection. Again, these are not flaws, they are adaptations. And this is where many practitioners begin seeing familiar patterns. The solar plexus is often associated with identity, confidence, personal power, and boundaries. Now, how many clients walk into your office struggling with exactly these themes? Not because they lack information, because their system organized around a particular experience of power. Perhaps they learned that their needs didn't matter. Perhaps they learned that compliance was safer than self-expression. Maybe they learned achievement was the only path to approval. And over time, these experiences become part of their energetic organization, part of their nervous system organization, part of their identity. So the heart chakra may be one of the most revealing centers of all because every client carries experiences related to love and loss, connection and separation, trust and betrayal, grief and longing. And many practitioners attempt to heal these experiences by focusing exclusively on emotional release. But often the deeper question is this: how has this person organized around their experiences of love? Have they become guarded, hyper independent, people pleasing, emotionally unavailable? Again, we're observing adaptation. Now, one of the most common patterns I observe in practice involves expression. Clients who know exactly what they feel but cannot communicate it. Clients who silence themselves. Clients who avoid conflict at all costs. Clients who speak constantly but never reveal vulnerability. Every one of these patterns tells us something. The question is not whether the throat chakra is blocked. The question is, what adaptation occurred around expression? What did the system learn about speaking truth? The third eye and crown often become organized around meaning, interpretation, identity, purpose, worldview. These centers influence how experiences are understood, how reality is perceived, how possibility is imagined. And once again, development plays a role. And this is where I believe the practitioners can make an important shift. Instead of asking, which chakra needs balancing, try asking, what adaptation am I observing? What organization has this client developed around safety, connection, power, love, expression, meaning? Because the moment we begin asking these questions, we stop chasing symptoms and we begin understanding systems. And when we understand systems, our interventions become far more effective. I don't believe that the future of healing lies in choosing between nervous system science and energetic models. I believe that the future lies in understanding how they complement one another. The nervous system tells us how the body adapted. The chakra system helps us to understand how those adaptations organized energetically, and together they provide a much more complete picture of the human experience. Together, they help explain why clients continue repeating patterns long after the original event has ended. And together, they offer a roadmap for transformation. So the next time you're working with a client, I want you to try something. Instead of focusing on the symptom they present, ask yourself, what adaptation am I witnessing? What story has this system been organized around? Because healing is very rare. Is it around fixing what's wrong? More often, it's about helping the system discover it no longer needs the adaptations that once helped it survive. And that changes everything. And in the next video, we're going to explore one of the most misunderstood concepts in modern healing: why nervous system regulation alone may not be enough to create lasting transformation. See you in the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get notifications. Go ahead and ring the bell. I'm Tina Bridgetini. Many blessings to you.